Dial Models Workshop.
Hi, it's Yeji.
And Clint.
Hey, it's Larry. You are entering Models Workshop After Hours, a modeling podcast where we talk about miniatures, model painting, and we cuss a lot. If you can be offended, we're probably going to offend you. Then you're going to laugh and you're going to feel bad. And then we'll offend you again. And then you'll laugh again. You see the pattern. So kick out, sit back, grab your brush, grab your paints, and get ready to have some fun. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Models Workshop After Hours. Tonight the studio is a little empty because other people are busy celebrating Cinco de Mayo. In case y'all don't know, we record on Fridays, and more than likely Mark the Shark is out getting blitzed again, riding on the WoW side. But we got Clint, Yeji, and myself in the studio to keep you guys entertained. So, what have you guys been up to this week?
Well, I've been working on getting some of my contest-worthy pieces finished up a little bit more, and playing around with the airbrush more. I actually got some pretty cool, like, crystal things finished up, and I'm working on this reflective mask helmet thing, kind of making it look like NASA.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures that you've been posting, and that's looking pretty damn good, dude.
Thank you. Now I gotta do all the brush work.
Yeah. Right now I'm swimming my way over to my desk because, for those who don't know, I live in the great state of Indiana. I don't know how great it is, but it is the state of Indiana. And we are in the middle of a massive flood. All that flooding that's been happening in Oklahoma and everything else, all the rain is here now. And needless to say, my basement looks like an in-house swimming pool right now. So I had fans running all morning trying to get it dried out, but it's still a little on the wet side. So yeah, I've been having to scoot around in water and everything else. Ugh. Yeah, I've heard that they're going to declare our state the next Great Lake. It's Lake Indiana. We're going to be the southernmost Great Lake.
Isn't that what David had posted earlier today?
Yeah, I'd seen it before, but yeah, he posted that up, and then he posted the picture of the Great Lakes thing. I posted the book of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, saying that it was the next Indiana driver's manual. So, got some cool. Actually, give a real quick shout out to Keith Clark. He sent me one of the new D&D by WizKids, the D&D minis from WizKids. They're the HD minis. They're pre-primed figurines designed for play and D&D games, and they're really cool because they're actually very, very super affordable. They run, I believe, $3.99. You get 2 miniatures in there. They're plastic. They're not the soft rubbery material. They're a plastic material. And like if you get the Dwarf Fighter, you actually get 2 separate miniatures inside the blister, and one of them is a little less ornate than the other one. So one can be used like as a good starting character, and the other one can be used as you gain armor. But yeah, they're like $3.99. They have they're actually really nice minis. I'm not even gonna lie. For their price point, they're exceptional. These things are going to give Reaper a run for their money once they get out a little bit more, and once they put more out, because you're looking at $2 a mini, and they're actually plastic versus that bones material that a lot of people have a tendency of having issues with.
Well, only if you use Krylon.
So, well, it's not only the Krylon issue; it's the trying to remove mold lines from them too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a friendly material to try to remove mold lines from, because you tear the model more than you do. Oops, no, droppy dice. You tear the model more than you do remove mold lines, unless you do something like freeze it, and then mold lines get a little easier, or you have to take like a super brand new X-Acto knife, and instead of like scraping the mold line, you have to carefully cut the mold line, which is super dangerous, even for people who are used to doing stuff like that. One slip and you got a flat spot on your mini, and it's not like you can sand or file it down. So the fact that these are made out of hard plastic, they're almost like an ABS plastic, is nice. What I think I'm going to try to do is get all of them, because I mean they're super cheap and there's not many of them, but get all of them and do like 30-minute paint tutorials. Like, hey, you've got a D&D game coming up. Here's your miniature. This is how I'd knock it out in 30 minutes, and then go through the steps.
That'd be
because
cool.
I think that would actually be a fairly useful tutorial. Yeah, I think it would be well appreciated because stuff like that is kind of the demographic for those aspiring people out there that want to make videos and tutorials. Honestly, you can make all the advanced stuff in the world, but you want views. Do the basic stuff, like how to paint red, how to paint yellow, how to properly prime your miniature. You'll get 10 times more views on those videos than you will on any of the high end. How to two-brush blend with yellow and orange and make it look blue.
That's not a real thing, by the way.
Because there's not a huge market for... Because, what?
I said that's not a real thing, by the way.
I would...
It is in Larry's
Yes, disclaimer, I was being a smartass. Yellow and orange going together don't make blue. Except in my mind, like Yeji said. So... no, it's those type of tutorials that people love. So hopefully, going through these and doing a series of knocking these minis out in like 30 minutes, and they ain't going to look pretty. I mean, they're not going to be award-winning minis, but they're going to be the type of stuff that you can take to your gaming table. And they're going to be, I feel dirty for saying this. I feel real dirty for saying this, but I'm probably actually going to go out and buy apple barrel paints, like the generic craft stuff from Walmart, and actually paint them with those, because that's another mistake people make when they do tutorials, is that they do these awesome tutorials on basic stuff, but they use tools that are like no way, shape, or form basic. So I want to make these with stuff that's readily available for anyone who's going to want to do these. And Apple Barrel is literally available everywhere. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, it don't matter, it's available.
Yeah. So
that's one thing that's going on. I've got 2 blisters. I have a human wizard and I have the dwarf fighter so far. And the problem I have literally is I can't find anywhere local that sells the damn things. I'm just going to have to break down and put together like a $30 order from Miniature Mart, because they have a flat shipping of like $4.99 no matter what you order. And they have all of these on sale for like either $2.99 or $3.29. So, I can order 10 of them for $32, or 10 blisters of them for $32 and pretty much have everything.
True.
But yeah, these are great price point too, because this allows people like kids with their allowance to go out and buy them and not break the bank.
Ew. There's a film on
Ew?
paint.
Yeah, the paint water has been changed for a little bit.
Clint. I actually have not painted.
For, quote unquote,
I actually haven't
little
painted
bit.
in 2 weeks because I got hired. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I now have
pretty,
my own
awesome.
My own insurance agency, and if you move to Nevada and need insurance, let me know.
Hold up. So you actually have your own agency? You're not going to be moonlighting under someone?
Yep.
I did not know that. I thought you were going to have to do the entire process of ghosting under someone again. That's awesome.
Yeah, but now I have to actually work my butt off,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now at least you're your own
but
boss.
now,
so if you
that's
want
the
to
thing.
go and
now it's mine. So, I know that I'm getting paid for it instead of someone else.
Well, another cool thing about it is if you want to go to the local gaming shops and talk to them, about insurance, it's technically work.
Exactly.
And eventually you can hire Clint to be your your secretary.
Oh, he already earns a lot from the other job, so.
Yeah.
Well, I get that, but you can have him under your thumb a little more.
I really don't want to get my insurance license though, and if I don't get it, I'm kind of useless.
That's true. That is true. Because my wife was looking for a part-time job a couple years back, and our local insurance agent was looking for a secretary. And I was like, well, my wife could do that. And the first question was, does she have her insurance license? And I was like, no, you're hiring a secretary. She's like, it doesn't matter. They have to have an insurance license too.
In
order
to do everything
shit.
that servicing wise and talk about policies, you need to have it.
Yeah, I haven't really painted anything. I repaired a couple models. Some of my silver tower were damaged by kittens because the miniatures were up on the shelves, and heaven forbid if I thought they were safe. They've learned to climb. So I was repairing a couple of those, and then everything else is basically, I've been down here in my studio, as I have been, it seems like for 3, 4, 5 months now. I bought a second shelf. I put it up. I swear, it seriously seems like my upstairs studio was the size of a closet, because it was a closet. It was a closet that had a closet. It was weird. But it was small. I mean, everyone here has seen pictures of it. And if you haven't, you can go look at facebook.com/Gin24. I'm pretty sure my cover picture there is still my old studio. So, and if not, you can look through my pictures and you'll find a picture of my old studio. It looks like a closet. Well, I'm slowly taking everything out of there and bringing it down here, and I don't have room for it. And down here is like 4 times bigger than my old studio. I'm like, where the hell is all this shit coming from? It's like it's exploding everywhere.
That's what she said.
And it's just mind-blowing. Dude, it's like fucking expanding foam. I'm bringing my stuff down here, and it's like expanding foam.
Or like, Narnia,
and it's
or
filling
something.
up the entire studio. Oh, I still have shit upstairs. I have an entire bookshelf upstairs still that I need to bring down here that has all my Funko Pops and everything else on it. I'm sitting looking at this thing like, where the fuck am I going to put it? It's frustrating right now because everything is kind of discombobulated and everywhere. So I kind of look at it and it's like, ugh. Because I don't know, it just feels as if I should be done, and I'm not, and it's just frustrating because I'd like to get this shit done so I can actually start. I mean, now the cool thing is I have what I thought was a 6-foot table, and I guess it's actually an 8-foot table. It's like an 8x3. Yeah, I think it's an 8x3 table down here, and I have it unfolded, and everything's flooding, so I couldn't put anything on the floor. So I opened up my quote unquote gaming table, and I've been putting stuff as I bring it down on there before I put it on the shelves. Now the cool thing is after everything is done, if I want to, I could actually leave the gaming table up and still have room to move around my studio. Now, will I? More than likely, no. I'll probably take it down if we're not actively playing a game, because it does actually eat up quite a bit of real estate. But the cool thing is if we are playing a game and I need to leave it open, I can, which is awesome. So and the kids have been getting into more and more of the games and playing Magic and everything else. So that was an nice little added bonus. Now, if I could just get everything put up. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the unfun part.
It's always the unfun part. It's like, and you move. The hardest part is unpacking and putting everything away. It's like, ugh. So, news and new releases. I think the biggest new release that we can talk about that has come out is 8th edition. Warhammer 40k 8th edition. If you've been living under a rock, they made the announcement that they are going to a new edition of 40k, and it is actually a throwback to 2nd edition. It's parts 2nd edition, parts 3rd edition. It's parts 2nd edition, parts 3rd through 7th edition, and parts of Age of Sigmar. And before you bone and groan and everything else, it's actually, from what I've seen, more 2nd edition than it is anything else. Now, you can definitely tell they've taken stuff from Age of Sigmar, but it's not, there's no hokey pokey. So you don't have to worry about turning yourself around, because, that's what it's all about. But the game itself seems more streamlined.
It does.
They've gotten rid of a lot of the broken shit, like detachments, and the shooting seems a lot more simple. There isn't a ballistic skill, which actually makes sense, because all ballistic skill was literally, you look on a chart, what's a BS4? Well, it's a 3+. Well, why not put 3+ on the fucking stat? Which is actually what they did. The one thing that is different is the weapon skill is actually hard-coded in there, which is a little different because it used to actually vary depending on what unit you were charging. If you were charging something with a really high weapon skill, you'd have a harder time hitting. Now it's just like a Space Marine hits on a 3+, and that's it. Hits on a 3+. Is there going to be modifiers? We'll see. We don't know. We don't know everything about it. Armor saves are interesting. They are now hard-coded. There's no more initiative. If you attack, you go first. Like if you're the one who instigates the charge, you attack first for the rest of the game or rest of that attack. You can fall back from attacks. There isn't a FOC, a force organization chart per se. Before it used to be like one headquarters and two troops.
They just released
now
something.
There's different styles of Fox.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of cool.
You mean the different styles?
Well, they have like the battalion,
and I like
the
it because
trooper.
you can go, hey, yeah, you could be like, hey, Clint, do you want to play a brigade game? And Clint's like, yeah, sure, let's play a brigade game. And a brigade is like 3 headquarters, 3 to 5 headquarters, 5 to 10 troops, 2 to 6 heavies, 2 to 6 fast attacks, and 2 to 6 elites, and 0 to 2 flyers. Now, lower, smaller organization games lose certain slots, like you don't have flyer slots on smaller games. And if you've noticed what I was saying, they actually force you to take elite choices and fast attack choices. You have to take them. You have to take the minimum of 2 on the brigade style games. Now, I'm sure there will be a traditional force organization chart where it's 1 headquarters, 2 troops, but they've said that there is 8 or 9 different charts that you can go and based off of, and I'm going to take a wild guess. One of them is going to have Lords of War, one of them is going to have this, that, and the other. But from what I've seen, detachments are dead. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to multi-detachment a person to death. You basically, instead of creating multiple detachments like you were before, which was breaking the game, what you do now is, okay, instead of playing a company game, we're going to play a brigade or a battalion game, or we're going to play a brigade game. And what happens there is it allows you to take exponentially more units. Like, I think one of them is like 8 elite choices, but you have to take 5 troop choices. So that's almost your APOC style force chart. And it makes sense. Being military, Clint and I, looking at these battalion and brigade lists, you kind of look at them and go, that makes perfect fucking sense, because that's exactly how it would be even in the real military. So it's definitely, I'm excited. I'm not even going to fucking lie. I am excited about the new 40K. The rule book is supposed to be 20 pages long, and that's it. And it's supposed to be every model that's released on Forge World and on the 40K website is supposed to be usable and have data sheets for them. And the rules are supposed to be free. What exactly they mean by the rules will be free, I don't know. Will the Army rules be free? I don't know. The base core game is going to be free. They've already said that. But the big bitch that people have been having, and I can sympathize, are the people who've bought recently their 7th edition codexes and they're now invalid. Or the people who even bought them when they first came out, they're invalid. All 7th edition codexes are invalid. It is a completely, for anyone who was playing during 2nd edition, when we moved from 2nd edition to 3rd edition, it's like that. It invalidates everything. You cannot play with your old rules. You just cannot. But everything on release, which is supposed to happen this June, is going to have rules ready and written for it. So everything. And supposedly it's been play tested to death. So they said that it's going to be it's supposed to be balanced and everyone will have a good flavor. So no more hopefully that means no more Taudar. Hopefully that means no more silly fucking organizations that really don't make a lot of sense. I know we're a painting podcast, folks, but at the heart of this, we do play, almost everyone here does play 40K.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting back into it.
And don't do it.
No, you get it right. Don't do JT. Dude, he fucking died when I posted that. That was funny as shit. Yeah. Oh man, but honestly, here's the thing about
Clint
it.
Asked him out on a dinner date.
I did not ask him out.
Ooh.
No, there's a lot more story
got
to
you
that.
On the fence.
There's a lot more story to that.
Mm-hmm. Sure there is, buddy. It's okay. It's 2017. It's all right to have those feelings. Don't have to worry about it anymore unless you live in the state of Arkansas or Mississippi.
No, I just don't want to go to an expensive dinner by myself because Yeji's going to be gone.
So you ask your gay friend out to go with you, but you swear up and down.
He's the only person that...
He's the only person that would like the vegetarian vegan food.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah, there's a little bit more story to that.
But, okay, fair enough. Oh, man. So the fake Kickstarter we talked about, I think it was almost a month ago, actually finished this week, and it did fund. And, oh, man, I really wish I could have kickstarted it, and I probably it could have if it hadn't have been for the May the 4th Be With You limited edition mini. Because it's too damn cute.
That Yeji thought was a Kickstarter?
I assume so, because it looked like the stuff from the Kickstarter. Hey.
Well, it's from the same studio. I mean, it's from RNS Studio. I literally posted a link and the picture. She's like, oh, that's cute. And then whenever it sells out, she's like, hold, that's not part of the Kickstarter? Because they only made 50 of them. And the killer thing is one reason you want to go to RNS Studio and sign up for their newsletter is because their miniatures are actually really incredibly well priced. This was a limited edition to 50 Star Wars miniature. Okay, it's a girl in a crop top and boy underwear holding a lightsaber. But it was limited to 50 and was $13, and whenever I got the first one, it was $13.55, and then the conversion went up a little bit over the course of the day, and it was $13.68 for the second one. Because I just had this sinking feeling that someone was going to go, I really wanted that. And of course that someone was Yeji, because she's, and to make you feel a little better, I haven't got an email saying that it was canceled, because I bought number 50. Like, it was the last one. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick this up because I know one of my friends is going to go, oh, fuck, I meant to get that. And you can guess who that friend was.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I probably could have picked one up, and I probably will, because I actually kind of dig the Ouroboros miniatures. And I've been talking to Daniel a little bit, and he's a pretty cool guy. So eventually I'm probably going to pick up the Succubus, because I liked the Succubus and I liked Hypno, so I might eventually pick both of those up.
Hypno reminds me of something else, though, that I don't know if it was from Faye, or like from that company, or if it was from someone else. I can't remember.
I know I've seen Ouroboros miniatures before. I can't recall what exactly I saw.
You know, and then it must have been the Hypno Toad, because that's how I remember it.
If it was a little toad, then it was probably Hypno. Oh, man. Okay, so speaking of Kickstarters and scantily clad female figures, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out, because I know people had to have been expecting this from me. All right, so it was funny because Jen Haley posted up. Okay, let's rewind. 2 weeks ago, I saw the trailer video because Antonio, I believe, tagged me in it, and Yeji actually too. And I watched the video, and I was like, wow, this is shot like soft porn. Like, the video is shot like a 1-900 commercial that you would see at 11 o'clock at night trying to get people to call a sex line. That's the style of what the commercial was like. And I was like, wow, this is like super, super, super tacky. And this is coming from me, folks. And if you're a listener to the show, if I'm calling something tacky, it must be really effing tacky. Because we're pretty fucking tacky ourselves.
No, we're junior high school.
Like,
we're junior high school. That's tacky.
Okay, fair enough. We have a junior high sense of humor. Even I'm going, no. I recognized it for low budget smut, which is what it effectively was. Well, I watched it, and the models themselves, like, okay, and I agree. I agree completely with Jen Haley on this. The faces of the models look great. The face and the hair look awesome. Something about their clothes look off, and I'm not talking about the gravity-defying tits that they have. Just something about the clothes themselves just don't seem... They seem very stiff. They don't seem natural. They're too flat. That's what it is. They're too flat, they're too crisp, and everything else. Clothes don't lie like that normally. Even a nice starched shirt will still have some form of flexing in it. These don't. They're super flat. But the models kind of... There's 2 or 3 of them that look okay, and there's some of them that just look absolutely tacky. So, and I messaged back to Antonio, and I was like, you know what? No, there's no chance in hell that I'm gonna look at this Kickstarter. Fast forward to 2 days ago, I think it was, Jen Haley posts up about a Kickstarter, just basically being kind of trashy. And I kind of caught on it. It was the Scale 75 Kickstarter. Here's the thing. The Kickstarter is called Naughty Gears. So let's rewind back to the 1-900, 11 o'clock at night, trying to get you to call a sex line entire thing. It's called Naughty Gears. So fast forward, we're reading, she's like, honestly, I could almost forgive the models, but the bios kill me. And I was like, the bios? Oh, well, let me go look at these bios. Why are the bios so bad that they turn Jen Haley off? And I know Jen Haley isn't a prudish person. She's very liberal. I've seen some of the models that she paints. She's not shy about painting nudity. She's not shy about the female figure in miniature painting. So I was like, well, what in the hell could have Jen Haley go, I really don't like these bios. And combining everything, it's just a really bad Kickstarter. So I go over there and I start reading these bios. And holy shit. Oh, and then she also brings up that, and I will use allegedly because I haven't gone and proven it myself. And I'm not saying that Jen Haley is not a valid source of information, but I have not looked it up myself. So I can't say with 100% certainty this is true. So I will say allegedly. Allegedly, the busts that are contained within Naughty Gears are very similar, if not identical, to other people's art. Like, they took the art and made miniatures out of them, and they didn't credit. Now, I get that happens quite a bit. I have a Jake model, which is basically a chibi Jason. I get that. There's a difference between parody, paying homage, and duplicating to almost the exact detail a model. And duplicating to a model almost detail for detail without giving at least proper credit and link back is wrong. There's a difference between the two. And also, if you look at the bases that you can order for these busts, they are fucking identical to Angel Geraldo.
Geraldo?
Is it Geraldo? Geraldo's. Angels. They're identical to his Infinity Kickstarter. I mean, identical. I fucking identical. The only difference is theirs has the little A for the Scale 75 logo cut on. Tentacle. All right, so getting back to the bios. Here's the one for Bridget Lafayette. Inventor of curve shooting, so many years as an escort of bullies and quarrelsome, ended up developing a shooting technique to be able to make targets between the columns of saloons while seducing her companions. Now, not only is the horrible translation strong with this one, but essentially the bio makes her out as being a prostitute. I mean, as an escort. Now, the escort could be a hired gun, but you read the rest of it and it's like, oh no, seducing, she's an escort, she's a prostitute. Okay, well, that's kind of and this one's actually not too bad other than the gravity-defying boobs. This one's not too bad. Then you get down to Carla McCarthy. She is the daughter of an old hatter supplier of the British royal house and who is currently disinherited by her fondness for weapons and expensive watches that robs her lovers every time she seduces them. One that is, I can almost see Yeji over on her side of the computer twitching at like that massively huge run-on sentence that literally makes no fucking sense. And then it's at the bottom, the edge of the wing of her hat has killed more than a half a dozen men.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it's just like thrown in there. It's they're all written that poorly. But I
understand some of it is like might be lost in translation, but like it's so tacky.
Oh, okay. Here's the best one. Here's the creme de la creme. Her name is Sarah Kilmeister. German, has traveled all the brothels and saloons of Europe in search of a good quote-unquote mount. Her sensual dances are the beginning of an announcement of death for the victims who fall into her nets. Only the best lovers survive her deadly charms. Her hip stroke is sometimes fatal. Okay, that is probably the best written one. Like, it actually almost has a semblance of proper structure, and it actually tells almost a proper story. But once again, prostitute or whore. And all of them are like that. All of them is something about someone, including her bionic hand, the favorite of her lovers. Okay, is this implying that she fists them? I mean, and then there's one who has a Zeppelin who flies around and goes to Antwerp to be with her lover, who's a policeman who was chasing her for alleged theft of diamonds. Okay, first off, not to be an asshole, fuck it. I'm going to be an asshole. If you're not a native English speaker, please, for the love of God, ask someone who is a native English speaker to go through and read your shit at least once, because I'm so goddamn tired of reading shit that is so poorly translated that it literally looks like you copied it from a Word document in your native tongue over to Google fucking Translate, hit translate, and copied it back. Stop. It makes you look bad. On top of the fact that they dressed every one of these busts up as complete fucking whores, it's so bad. The English on this is so bad. It looks like one of those fucking phishing emails that I get in my email every once in a while, trying to fish for information that's from fucking China, and it's written in fucking Chinglish, where every other word is misspelled, and there's like 15,000 run-on sentence.
Chinglish.
Stop. Please, for the love, just stop. There's too many people out there that will take 10 minutes to read it, and it doesn't even have to be perfect. We're not saying, hey, you have to go hire a fucking PhD in English and literature to look over your stuff and make sure every goddamn comma's in the right spot. But for fuck's sake, I don't need a run-on sentence with 75 words in it. Just ask somebody. Please. It'll make things a lot easier. It'll stop a lot of miscommunications from happening. Just ask somebody. There's too many people out there that would take 10 minutes to read your shit and help out. Now, but basically, this entire Kickstarter is, hey, look, it's a bunch of chicks with their boobs hanging out. Hey, and you know what? The busts themselves are not bad. I'm not blasting the busts. The couple of them, some of them, I don't like the way the clothes fit on them. And they really need to look up how boobs actually react with gravity. Because I don't think steampunk has silicone. Just saying. But the busts themselves are not bad. And then you get to the full-size miniatures. Like, you see them from the waist up, and it's like, oh, okay, they're not bad. The boobs are kind of odd. Gravity doesn't seem to be affecting them. Then you see them from the waist down, and you're like, oh, no, yep, straight up whore. There's no semblance of any type of anything else. They literally are. Whenever the skirt is like a small little apron and all it is garters. And here I am sounding prudish. Like I said, overall, it's not the miniatures. It's not the busts. I understand the concept of pinups. I've seen Kingdom Death stuff. I own some Kingdom Death stuff. I've worked on some Kingdom Death stuff that is made of the things of nightmares. Literally. It's not the busts themselves. But it's the fact that they tried to write it up as a cheap and shitty erotica novel. Badly. Let me emphasize on the badly they tried to do this. And that's the thing. If they honestly would have posted this up with the busts by themselves, changed it from Naughty Gears to Scale 75 pinup bust, and not done that cringy-ass video, and definitely not done these cringy-ass bios, I bet you money they'd be over $30,000 right now. And even fucking Angel taunted him. He's like, yeah, you can take my bases, that's fine. But let me know when you finally get the success of what my Kickstarter did. Which, if I remember correctly, did like $30,000 in its first 2 hours.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Because I'm not going to... Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to advertise this. As you can see here, I'm not advertising it. I'm saying this is absolutely horrible. I agree 100% with Jen Haley. It's not the busts themselves. It's the fucking cringy video. It's the super cringy fucking bios, and it's the fact that it seems like a prepubescent 12-year-old on fucking Viagra wrote all of this shit. And honestly, Scale 75, you should be fucking ashamed. And this is coming from me, the guy who talks about fucking cum shots in space and everything else. It made me cringe. And I've watched La Blue Girl. But God damn it, you know what? We have the perfect idea for scale 75. You want to continue along this line of super cringy shit? You know what? We've got your next Kickstarter for you, scale 75, and we are going to let you have it. So instead of, everyone always talks about busts, and they're always waist up. So it's like, oh, so busts are from the waist up. So I'm thinking bust boobs. Okay, that kind of makes sense. So what we're proposing is a new line of busts, but instead of busts, they're going to be from the waist down. And they're going to be for your male pinups that are going to come out next. And instead of bust, you can call them cocks, because that's the most notable feature that's down there. Instead of busts, it's cocks.
Busty cocks.
And, you know what? Some of them might be. You never know. Here, let me... And we even did half your job for you. Maybe. It's one of those things. It's one of those things where I probably should have copy and pasted them.
Now he's just scrolling.
I am too, like... Oh, my goodness. Okay, so... no, but, and that's the next thing. Instead of doing it from the waist up, do male pinups from the pants down and call them cocks instead. If you seriously want to throw your hat into that arena of super smutty conversation, then
you got to do the guys.
Do it and do it right. Right. Quit doing the half-assery. And honestly, you probably would sell more of the dude ones, because that's something that people have been asking for forever. Ouch. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Oh, I feel so bad about the entire... I can't believe we... Okay. All right, so we even did most of your work for you. Long John the Pirate, pillager of the Maiden Coast. Signal fires are often lit to signal safe port for him to come and hide his load in the virginal waters. His prow often splitting the water so wide that there is no doubt that Long John is breached there. Rumored to be the man behind the term Panty Raid. So there's your first quote-unquote cocks for you, scale 75. Here's your second one. Jack Hoffman was a normal teenage boy until tragedy, a tragic icy hot accident, left him scarred and broken until he had a life-changing surgery to install the first Vibratron 9001, or to have the first Vibratron 9001 implanted. It's over 9,000! Now Jack is bringing a whole new meaning to cybersex with his power piston. Move over, Superman. The real Man of Steel is here. Kyle the Cannon Cocker was tired of the nickname Cap Gun, so instead strapped on a gold-plated cannon over his wee willy. No worries, ladies and gentlemen, there is no shrinkage with his cold iron. With balls so large and heavy, it's unknown if the screams are from pain or pleasure when his fuse burns down and he shoots his load. Rumor has it Kyle had to hire two people to help him ram his cannon. And finally, since you like parody, or you like lifting images from other people, Pinocchio wanted to be a real little boy until he found out what to say to make other things grow. Now a man Pinocchio is on his own, and on his own, he is still requested for shows in all the villages, where he brings an all-new meaning to got wood, as he hammers and nails anything people want him to. So there you go. There, we got the first four for you for the new Cox line that you can go ahead and bring out when we even have the name for the Kickstarter for you. You can call it Grinding Gears.
And I'm done.
All right, so let's get off the entire rant. I know someone probably like Jason is going to be a little disappointed that I wasn't a little more umpy on the entire rant, but honestly, it's not even something to get mad about. It's something just to be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Hopefully you got a good laugh.
In the last 24 hours, I did spend more money on some Kickstarters.
Yeah, because... Okay, yeah, so everybody, like, absolutely and completely filled their pledge of we're not going to buy more minis until we get a good portion of our collection painted. Because I picked up one of those it's a 12 euro limited edition of 50 miniature by one of the studios that I really like, and it's Star Wars. I can't say no to that.
Yeah, well,
I can't say no to that.
Yeji did the Dark Sword.
Yeah, I put money on the Dark Sword.
Remind me again what that is.
The Stephanie Law miniatures.
Oh, me and you can talk.
Yeji is already getting a bookworm.
No, I really, well, you can get 2. I really want the bookworm. Don't get me wrong, I would love all of the miniatures because Dark Sword makes some amazing miniatures, and their master class pieces are absolutely gorgeous. But if I can't honestly have all of them, which I can't, I want the bookworm. And that's not the first time that I've said that I wanted that fucking bookworm. There was another Dark Sword Kickstarter that had it as an add-on, and I wasn't able to get it either. I want the fucking bookworm. That is such an awesome mini. And I keep forgetting about it. Like, the Kickstarter will end and I'll forget about that model. And then they'll launch another Kickstarter and be like, oh my god, I want that bookworm. So we definitely need to talk. But yeah, that Dark Sword Kickstarter, which should still be running by the time this airs.
No, it's done. It's done.
Is
it?
It
was done today. That's why I had to bite the bullet and do it.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was already over.
Yeah, it kind of ran.
Well, scratch that. If you haven't backed it,
yeah.
You're shit out of luck.
Now there is another one that just started though. That is really cool.
And that's the RN Studio one.
Which one is
that? I thought was
Oh yeah, that you also backed.
Yes.
That you thought was the LE miniature. Now I haven't actually looked at that one, so educate me on it.
That one is also for, I have to open it back up again, but it's also for kind of like a D&D miniature type of thing, where it's...
Now, so is the Dark Sword one, too. Now, is the Dark Sword going to have late pledges, or is that it? Once it's done, it's done.
I'm not sure. I don't think that they usually have late pledges.
I didn't think so. Now, theirs was really D&D oriented too, like their entire how the miniatures released, because you had like an elven bard, and then you had like a human fighter, then you had a wizard, and then you had this, that, and the other, and the miniatures were fucking gorgeous. That's one studio that honestly, that if I could, I would own every miniature that they put out, because everything they put out is fucking amazing.
Like, I'm actually kind of thinking if I do get more money, then I might spring for everything in the Dark Sword miniatures, but right now I only have money for the add-ons that are on there because I love some of the add-ons. But it's called Myth Explorers RPG Miniatures by RN Studio.
Oh, so is that... Now, for those of you who don't know, RN Studio is a small studio out of Spain. I own 3 of their models. Well, I own 2 of their miniatures here in the studio, and then I ordered the Star Wars miniature. But for those of you that saw the Aaron Lovejoy miniature that was floating around, that was actually produced by RN Studio.
And it's actually a part
They're a little studio out of Spain.
It's actually a part of this Kickstarter.
Right. Oh, Lovejoy is? Oh, neat.
So they have 2 sets.
What they do,
they're what?
Oh, I was just going to say, they not only do they take commission work to do 3D sculpting and masters printing, but they also do their own work too and release it as well. Mm-hmm. So, like someone questioned me yesterday, and they're like, "Hey, is Arna Studio a recaster?" And I'm like, "No, their stuff is original. They make all their stuff." And they're like, "Well, that's weird because they have a miniature on their page for sale that is no longer available on the page of the person whose miniature it is." And I was like, well, I'm going to take a wild guess. More than likely what happened is Arna Studio will maintain selling rights of certain miniatures to help offset the cost to basically bring the price down of them doing the work. So instead of charging, and I don't know their exact fees, do not quote me on this, do not email them, well, Larry from Models Workshop said. So instead of charging you $500 to do a 3D sculpt and a master, they'll only charge you $300, but they maintain the rights to be able to make the miniatures themselves and sell it on their website, which is what I'm going to take a wild guess what they do, because I know a few people who have commissioned them to do pieces, and their pieces available on their website, in addition to the other guy was selling it too. So But that's just a quick rundown about Aryan Studio. They're kind of, not a lot of people have heard of them. They're kind of breaking out. I found out about them about a year ago, and their stuff is top notch. I mean, it's the detail on the models. Whether or not you like the miniatures themselves, that's up to you. Some of them can be a little bit static. Others look really good. The detail, though, like you'll get them, and like whenever you first hit them with paint, you'll notice a little bit of striation on the miniatures. But once you lay down your primer, it disappears. Like you won't be able to see it anymore. So I'm not sure if these are actually resin casted or if they're printed on demand. So,
I think they
printed on demand, they have one
I think they print and then they cast them, is what they usually do.
That's what I'm thinking. Because the one that I have, I'm pretty damn sure it's resin. So unless they have a resin printer, which they do exist, I don't know. They might be print on demand too.
That takes more time, though.
It depends. I mean,
because if each model
I don't know,
takes at like 2 hours to print, then and out of all of these, like no, I think they're gonna print it and cast it. But anyways, it's 2 sets. One's a dwarf core. It says dwarfed core, and a light core. And the dwarfed core is 5 minis. And they're pretty much all dwarves, I think, except for the women. And one of them looks really cool. She has like a hawk on her or an eagle on her arm, and she's wearing all this bulky armor, so she's really cool. And then the light core has 5 minis as well. 3 women in this one, 2 men. The dwarfed core has 3 male dwarves and 2 women. But Lovejoy is a part of the light core set. And there's only a couple left, I think, of each of the cores. No, so the dwarf core, there's 37 left out of 40. There's 26 out of 40 left of the light core, but there's only 1 left of the myth core. And the myth core gives you both the dwarfed and the light. And they have a couple of like cool, conversions that they've unlocked, like different weapons or different heads for people. And they have a couple other miniatures that they've unlocked for like $12 or 12 euros add-ons.
Now talk about the other one.
What other one?
Dante.
No, I didn't really like Dante. I only posted it because I knew you liked it.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I liked from the Dante one was the
Gorgon?
What's his name? The river guy. So that's the Aryan Studio one.
Or however you want to pronounce his name.
Another one that we found was the Divine Comedy Dante's Inferno by Aradia Miniatures. And these guys are based out of Switzerland. And some of these are kind of cool, but it's based off of the Divine Comedy.
Specifically the Inferno.
Yes, specifically the Inferno. And they have 5 models, where they have one with Dante and Virgil. And that one's kind of, I don't know, that one's kind of meh for me. It's just 2 guys kind of standing and, I don't know.
Just standing there.
Yeah.
He goes,
and then they have Cerberus, which has 3 different dog heads, so that's a little weird. Like one's a hellhound head, one is a Doberman head, and another is a wolf head. And they're situated kind of weird on it, actually, so that's why I don't really like it. Though the little wings that it has, that they're kind of cool, like dynamic movement-wise. Kind of looks more like a cape than wings, actually. And there's Charon? Or Charon? Charon. I don't know.
I really like that one.
I really like this one, too. And he's the guy that brings them over on the River Styx. And it's
is it Charon? Charon?
Yeah, Charon. I don't know the pronunciation on it, really. But this one's really cool.
It's pretty sure it's Charon. It's not Charn. I know it's not pronounced ch. It's sh. So.
Or if you take the Celtic version, it's Charon.
Irregardless.
Anyways, that's I think the best model out of this Kickstarter. It has, like, he's on a boat and he's like crossing the river while demons and souls are trying to get on the boat, and it's really cool.
Really, really dynamic. It's really cool. I like this one too.
I don't like this one. Gorgon's Cave. It has a Gorgon, so like Medusa, with a snake-like body and a wing. I don't like this one.
I like this one. And the cool thing is she's like wrapped around a like Trojan who, well, you can paint as stone or as not. I mean, it's up to you on how you want to do the narrative on that one.
I mean, I understand that, but it just, I don't know. I don't like it.
I like that one.
And then you have Paolo and Francesca, and this one's kind of cool. I actually kind of like how the way it was painted on the, kind of like a comic book paint.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. If you go check the Kickstarter out, you can see the paint job on it. And then I think that one's the Kickstarter exclusive. Like you won't be able to get it anywhere else.
That's really cool though too, because it's really dynamic. You got this really long flowing, like cloak cape thing.
They're like intertwined in it, so that's kind of cool.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. Why'd you have to show this to me again, Clint? I kind of want Sharon now. No.
I don't like this. Well,
no, Sharon. I like Sharon. Sharon.
It's pretty cool. And then they also have a couple unlocked ones coming up, like Ulysses. He's going to be pretty cool.
Like
Flagron.
Phlegathon?
Or Phlegathon. There you go. Yeah. He looks like he's going to be pretty cool. Really demon-esque.
Yeah.
And they have more to be there. They need to unlock more before they'll even show you the silhouettes of what they're thinking of doing.
It still has 19 days to go as of today. So by the time this airs, it's 16 days to go. So you guys still have time to go over it. And it's not too expensive. I know. I'm thinking with my wallet, though, not your guys' wallets. $23 for like the tall.
Well, and that's kind of the one thing, like, what's the scale on these?
I don't think it states.
I went through these. I saw the cool things, but I'm like, what scale is this? Because that would really make a difference on the pricing.
Dante and Virgil are 75 millimeter. Cerberus is 90 millimeter. Charn is 75 millimeters. Gorgon's Cave is also 75 millimeters. And Paolo and Francesca is the smallest at 32 millimeters.
And they are Kickstarter exclusive. That's not bad. 75.
So that translates into it's 32 millimeter scale then.
Like, well, the people, the total height of the cloth to the bottom is 75 millimeters.
Right, but it still translates into it's a 32 millimeter game because the normal quote unquote human-esque miniatures are 32 millimeters.
I don't think this is a game. I think it's just models.
I'm sure it's just models to celebrate. Purgatory is going to be like the next one that they're going to do. So they'll be doing some of those, and then they'll do Paradiso after this one. So they're actually going to go through the
Paradiso, not Paradiso.
Fine, Paradiso. They're going to go through the entire Divine Comedy.
So they're taking like scenes and people from each of the...
Which I really hope Lucifer is one of the stretch goals that they'll get to.
I don't think so. Because it looks like they have Dante's bust, which is 80 millimeters. And nothing else seems really... I know. We'll just have to watch.
So it's basically whatever the hell they wanted to produce.
Yeah. I mean, and it's already funded. It's 18,000 out of 5,000 that they wanted.
Oh, so it's actually well funded. Should be getting into stretch goals now.
Yeah, they've already done
They've already unlocked 2. And they have some social media stretch goals
good.
too. And then I found that troll one.
I like troll.
Yes,
This
it
is
is
the episode
so
of
cute. It is so cute.
Kickstarters.
It's the limited edition miniatures Easter egg hunt by Grebo Games. It is so cute. It's not even funny. Like, it's ugly, but it's cute. It's like so ugly that it's cute.
To be fair, it is actually pretty cute. I kind of dig the bust.
And the Easter rat and the little bunny totem thingies, like that are all stacked on top of each other.
And this, folks, is why Yeji is eating ramen noodles currently.
Pretty much. If anybody wants to send me more ramen, that'd be great too, because I had to book flights to Missouri, and they were during summer, so it was like $1,000. Granted, the
Y'all
1,000
don't have
was...
2 cars. That'd be like...
This is the reason why we only have 1 car.
Pretty much.
Right, I was going to say, too bad you can't just drive.
I would have had to start like yesterday.
So, Las Vegas to Missouri? It's like a 1-day drive.
Yeah, she's flying.
Well, for a normal person, it's like a 1-day drive. For you, it's probably like 35 freaking days. I drove an hour. I gotta stop. My butt hurts.
What the heck? It has it to Columbia.
Okay.
Oh, Missouri's up that far. Oh, yeah, it is still. It's 20 hours and 42-minute drive. And it goes through Utah and Colorado and Kansas. No, fuck that. Fuck that noise.
As soon as you say driving in... No, as soon as you say driving in through Texas, done.
It's not through Texas because Missouri is actually up north.
Well, I know, but...
Further up north than you think.
Like, anything driving-wise, like going through Utah, that sucks. Going through Texas, that sucks even worse.
Going through Colorado sucks because you think you're going to die.
Well, that's only because we avoided highways because the GPS is stupid.
You still think you're going to die.
This is true. Started hearing banjos and I'm like, oh shit, we gotta get out of here.
No, that's the type of shit that you'll run into. That's the type of shit you'll run into in Missouri is the fucking banjo shit.
Well, and you know what's kind of scary though too is I'm going to be in class with people from Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and yeah. So I don't know if they're going to be like small town people or like Bible Belt people, like Bible thumping people. I don't know.
So getting on to a topic because we actually have one. Oh my god, I know, like total miracle. All right, so now with the coming of 8th edition, someone requested the topic of paint to play or play to paint. And basically what we mean there is, what's the difference between painting to play the game versus painting kind of what we do? Because we don't paint to play any particular game. We paint because we like painting. It's our actual hobby. Other people, they like playing games, but to play the games, you have to paint. Or if you don't have to, it just makes the shit look a lot nicer. So someone asked us, what's the difference? What are the bonuses to both of them? And what's the downsides to both of them? And now, I am a player, but I've always... And I will be here soon doing the paint to play aspect of stuff, which translates into speed painting a lot of stuff. But I'm more so along the lines of I enjoy playing or painting, and that's my main thing. So, you two, take it away. What are your thoughts on the paint to play versus play to paint?
Well, I started off playing first, and then I found out I really enjoyed the painting aspect of it more as things got a little bit more crazier with the rules and other things like that. And I don't know. I game now with people that are play to paint or paint to play, kind of both sides. And honestly, as long as they're happy with the models that they kick out, it's fine. I've noticed some of them kind of look at it as a chore, and that's well and fine. I am more than happy to accept money to paint your models.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why commission painting exists to begin with, is someone doesn't want to paint, they just want to play. But to play in tournaments, it has to be the standard base 3 colors.
Which is 3 colors and some shading or something.
Yeah, I mean, just something. So, and a couple of the guys that go to the store that we show up to a lot now, they're happy with a rattle can primer, dry brush, shade, another dry brush, and it's good to go. And they do look nice if you do it correctly. But I think one of the benefits of doing a really good paint job on certain is people will stop at your table and just be amazed at how well it looks on the table.
How
Right.
well it
How
looks
well?
on the table?
Well, like I meant to say how well it all goes together and everything kind of blends, and you get more sucked into the game. Like especially now that an 8th narrative is going to be an actual like big game mode, having the scenes kind of reenact as you're sitting there playing, and the models don't look garish unless they're supposed to, like Nurgle. But
No.
I mean, it kind of brings you. It's almost like you're moving into futuristic historical.
I would say futuristic narrative, because I mean it's not so much historical, kind of.
But like, he
I
means,
see
like,
what you're
the
saying because
yeah.
the entire 40K thing. That's what it's a narrative. It's turning into a little bit more of a narrative game versus what it used to be. And for me, I honestly, the way I look at it is, you do you. You know, if you're a really big person who likes to play games, but you don't want to put the investment in, if you are that person that just paints the model 3 different colors and doesn't even wash it, you know, that's fine. That used to be me back in the early 2000s, where I would just pop models on the game. And honestly, as long as the scheme is the same throughout your entire army and it draws together, it's not bad. It could it be better? Hell yeah, it could be better. I mean, my black and blue Space Marines, which looked cool together because they were all black and all blue, but that was it. They all looked good on the table because they were all the same, but I didn't put a lot of time investment in each individual unit. Nowadays, I'd put in 10 times more time, and each model would have a little bit of character to it. Not now. I'm probably going to be doing the airbrush primer, hit it with the base coat, wash it a couple times, and do a highlight on it and call it done, because I have a lot of models to paint. But even then, that's more than what I was doing back then, you know, especially painting something black. Black is an incredibly difficult color to paint, for those who don't know. It's you don't actually want to base off in black. You actually want to base off in a really, really dark gray, because if not, you don't have anywhere to go for shadows. But that's neither here nor there. But even if you just enjoy sitting down and knocking out some units and doing just a little bit of detail, you know, what we would call tabletop plus, where you would paint the 3 colors, give it a couple washes, and pick a few details out, and boom, call it done. That to me is painting to play, because you're not going to win anything with that. You're not going to win armies on parade. You're not going to win any painting competitions, anything of that nature. But as long as it looks good on the table and everything is drawn together, that honestly what matters in that type of scope, the paint to play. Now, on the other aspect of it, are there people out there that have armies that every single individual miniature probably has 10, 20, 30 hours into it? Yeah. And those are the armies that win armies on parade. And it's an investment. And I don't think, honestly, personally, I don't think either one of them is wrong. Because I'm going to be painting up 30,000 points of Eldar and getting everything set up. Some of it's painted, a lot of it isn't. But once I'm done, I'm going to keep about 2,000 points off to the side, and I'm going to paint those up good. You know, what I would call armies on parade standard. Not golden demon quality, but good enough to be noticed for like armies on parade. But I don't think either one of those are wrong inherently, because there are people who do this to play the game, because honestly, like stuff like 40K or Warhammer Hordes or all those are games. They're to be played. And I don't think that the people who buy miniatures for no other purpose other than to paint them are wrong either, because for fuck's sake, I'm one of them, and Yeji is too, and Clint is. And I think a lot of us, even the people that paint to play, are guilty of that. Well, they'll buy a model for no other purpose other than to put some paint on it. And that, I think that's the fine line. That's that middle ground right there, is that a lot of people are paint to play. But there's always those models that they grab and go, I want to paint this for no other purpose other than the joy of painting it. And I think that's where the other side starts slowly blending or slowly creeping in. And there are people out there who are going to find it bothersome and bullshit to paint forever. They're never going to like it. They're going to be the people who either hire people like Clint and Yeji to paint their armies, or people who just don't care. They would play with the Gray Army if they could. They just want to play. And there's nothing. Well, okay, the Gray Armies, there's something wrong with that. But the other side of it, if you're one of the people that put the 3 colors on it and slap it on the board, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's benefits to both. That means if you paint your units up real quick, you can play. If you take your time, you can play. And it's going to be like Clint said. It's going to have people walking by and going, whoa, what the hell is this? They're going to be, those are the showstoppers, the ones that go, wow, that's amazing. Those are the ones that will end up in White Dwarf. But, so with 40K coming out, honestly, find your niche. If you enjoy painting, take your time and paint. You can get a tabletop ready army using the first method, just 3 colors and call it done. You're legal. But then what you do is you go back and then squad by squad, you start detailing it out. And you make them better, and then you make them better. You weather them, you highlight them, you shadow them. You add little details like gemstones and stuff like that. And you go back unit by unit. And you can honestly do both. You can paint to play and then go back to play to paint. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So, Yeji, your thoughts?
I'm painting.
I think we know where she stands on this one.
Go paint. The end.
She doesn't play games that gives you an idea, except for Monster.
She doesn't play skirmish games. She's too competitive, and she doesn't want to ruin friendships.
No, let's get it right. She doesn't want to flip any fucking tables.
That too.
That's Clint.
No.
Yeah, every time I win, you're like, for like the next 3 hours.
It's because you cheat, rules lawyer.
I do not. It's not cheating if it's said in the rules.
Who was it? Luke Wilson, a figure painting magazine? Who was it? Luke Wilson, a figure painter magazine? A figure painter magazine who tried to call us out on the Kingdom Death thing? I believe it was. Okay, so if you're a fan of Models Workshop, I didn't post this on Models Workshop. It was a personal rant. Because honestly, I don't think it really fits the scope of the website Models Workshop. After hours, we're chilling back, having a beer, sitting in a studio, painting miniatures and everything else. So this is different. But the grand scope of Models Workshop, I really didn't think it really fit the theme. Even though I might do an article on it, I'm not entirely sure. Probably not. Even if I said I was going to do an article on it, probably not. But it was funny because Luke Wilson popped in and was like, well, what's your thoughts on Kingdom Death? Because they do some gratuitous nudity, some pretty horrific nudity to tell you the truth, if you've ever seen Tit Slug, or AKA the Wet Nurse. And that's where I figured, honestly, it's not the busts themselves that I have an issue with, because Kingdom Death, do they have nudity? Do they have pinups? Do they have that type of stuff? Yes. Yes, they do. Absolutely they do. They actually have a line called the Pinups. And like I said, if the busts had been sold as the pinups, I wouldn't have really said anything. But it was kind of funny because we were going back and forth about Kingdom Death and this and that and everything else. And I finally screenshotted the bios and I posted them. And he read them and he was like, "Holy shit! I didn't even realize they were that bad." Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, I think it's funny though that people immediately went to throw Kingdom Death under. It's like, yes, they are pinups and there are some like nudity and things, but they're not going for the slutty. They're going for the...
I like how Jen Haley put it.
Straight balls to the wall, like almost literally.
Yeah, Jen Haley actually put it really well in her post.
She did, and in multiple posts actually. She said in several different things multiple times, and two different. She had her own thread, and then she actually hopped over on mine too and was commenting on it, and. Like I said, if they would have just done scale 75 pinup busts and left it at that, I wouldn't have said anything about it. I actually probably would have looked into buying one.
Well, yeah, and I even like the last one that's on there that's like Queen whatever, but like I'm like, no, I don't want to buy it because everything's all fucking slutty.
Yeah, even the Queen one is. And I'm just like, why? The Hammer Fist one, I was like, okay, that one's actually pretty cool. I kind of dig it. And the one thing I actually do dig, and I think Jen Haley didn't like, was the fact it looks like she's wearing a sports bra, and it looks like her sports bra is lifting up a little bit away on the bottom, so you see a little bit of underboob, which, from seeing my wife, she wears a lot of sports bras, that's actually fairly natural, especially with larger breasted women. So actually, I personally thought that was kind of cool, until you read the bio, and it's what you have to ask yourself, what exactly is she doing with that hand? It brings a whole new meaning to jackhammer. But that was the entire, like I said, it's a poorly run Kickstarter. It could have been so much more, but they went for the over the top approach. And barring the fact that they are allegedly stealing all of their designs, and even some of it I've witnessed, because Angel Straight called them out right on their announcement thread. I was laughing my ass off. But looking at them as a whole, it's just horrible. And a whole bunch of my friends are like, I backed it. And I was like, did you read the bios on the models before you backed it or watch the video? No, I just looked at the models and I bought it. And I was like, okay. I was like, do yourself a favor. Just actually, no, do me a favor. Go back and read the bios, because I want you to see why I have a problem with it. And they went back and they're like, wow, those are really, really bad. And I was like, yeah, they are. They're horrible. And I'm not saying if you pledged their bust, I don't care. The busts themselves do look good, for the most part. Taste withstanding. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. And that's all a perspective thing. And I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you pledged it, but I put the blame on scale 75. They're the bad ones on this one, not the people backing it. That's fine. Back what you like. I buy Kingdom Death models. Yeji owns 95% of the Kingdom Death models ever produced. We'd have no problem with gratuitous sex, nudity, or anything else in miniatures.
Have you listened to our podcast?
Right. I have a problem with that. I just don't like that, and I know it's probably out of character for me. They're like, Larry, you talk about a whole bunch of crazy shit, and we do, but I don't like that.
Well, and Larry's actually being feminist.
Take it as you will.
Like good feminist.
It's fun. It's funny as shit because Kelly was like, Larry, I like seeing this feminist side of you. And I told her, it's like, I have no problem with feminism. And I don't have a problem with a lot of feminists. I just have a problem with the crazy ones. The very vocal minority that honestly gives everybody a bad name or a headache. And those aren't people that want equal rights. Those are people who... They don't want equal rights by lifting up. They want equal rights by pounding everybody down. And I don't like that. If you want to... It goes back to that entire scientist thing. If the guy who crewed a mission to land a probe on a comet was wearing a shirt with a whole bunch of burlesque girls on it. And a whole bunch of feminist groups fucking just went ape shit. And the story is it was actually a female friend of his made him the shirt, and he wanted to wear it as a thank you to her because of this big honor. But instead of, let's celebrate the fact that he landed a fucking probe on a fucking comet moving at outrageous fucking speeds out in the middle of space, and a comet's only the size of, I don't know, a small mountain, and he still managed to fucking land it just perfect. Let's not look at that. Let's look at the fact that there's less women on his fucking shirt, and throw a hissy fit about that. That's the type of shit I don't like. If you want to wear a tacky shirt, you should be allowed to wear a tacky shirt. Do I think it's tacky? A little bit, yeah. But you know what? If a chick wants to... Or, my bad, I don't want to get smashed by a whole bunch of feminists. If a woman wants to go out and wear a shirt with a whole bunch of... the...
Sailor Bears!
Oh, what was that show? Channing Tatum. Exactly. If they want to go out and wear that, I'm going to think it's tacky. But you know what? I think that is their right. And that's what I mean by we should have equality through raising up. Everyone... You shouldn't downtrodden anyone to make them equal. You should bring everyone up to the level. And I totally support that for that portion of feminism. Or equality of everything.
But have you seen Sailor Bears?
I don't think so.
It's Sailor Moon done with guys that are like bears.
Oh, God.
It is so awesome. And it's not like a show or anything.
Fuck you,
but-
Clint. Seriously. Why do you have to send me shit like this? Oh, wow. Those are actually not too badly priced.
See? Aha.
What is this? What are you sending him?
More turtles.
Oh.
Fake Ninja Turtles.
Good job, Clint.
I honestly just...
No, well...
I know nothing of this
The
company.
last time I got sent something like this...
It was porn.
What? Okay, so last time someone
turtle
sent me a link like this, they were uber fucking expensive.
Now, have
But
you
these are
seen
not
the,
too
Have
bad.
you seen the turtle porn?
They're €11. It's not bad.
Well, €40 for everything.
Yeah.
With the collectible base.
It says they are HD resin cast, 26mm. So a little on the small side.
Well, Ninja Turtles are actually not human size. Mikey is the shortest of the Ninja Turtles, and he's supposedly like 5'1", 5'2". Leo, I believe, is the tallest, and he's only like 5'8". So they're short. You have to remember they're teenagers.
Your mom's short.
Yeah, €40.
My mom is short. She's like 5'1". €40, which will translate into about $50. Huh.
You're welcome.
Damn it.
He's like, now I have to eat ramen for another
Oh, and then
month.
earlier he sends me a link to Die. Yeah, and then earlier he sends me a fucking link to Die Antwoord, who has a concert going on in Vegas, and I'm like, Dick.
We're going.
One, I'd love to
We're
go to the
going
concert. Two,
for free.
fuck both of you.
Hey,
How the fuck are you going for free?
I can... Because it's actually at my work.
Oh, I hate you even fucking.
So, yeah, that thing I sent...
Actually, when I'm editing podcasts or I'm painting, one of the things that I'll have on is there's a concert in Russia that Dire Antwood did, and it was actually filmed really nicely. Like, it was a good quality film, and it's like an hour and 20 minutes long, so I will put that on while I'm painting a lot of the times. So I've seen like 2 or 3 of their concerts on YouTube. They put on a pretty good and very interesting concert. Do not be too surprised if you see oh, why am I blanking on her name? Yeah, Yolandi Visor. Don't be too surprised if you see her cooter.
Yeah. Again.
She has a tendency to moon the crowd, and she typically will pull her pants down a little too low. And you will see Ninja in a thong at one point.
I just think it's cool that
bits.
there's finally a freaking band that I wouldn't mind seeing, because everyone else at that place has been people I don't care to go see.
Oh, I hear asshole in the background.
Yeah, we locked her out of the freaking room again.
Well, and she knows something's up. She knows that I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks.
I keep posting. Oh no! One cool find that I found, or one cool buy that I found. Okay, so jeweler saws. If you don't know, jeweler saws, the blades actually come in different sizes. It's not one size fits all. You can actually get and they're sized like brushes, so you can get triple-aught all the way up to size 7 or 8, and it's how thin the wire is and how many teeth per inch are on the wire themselves. So I found a place on Amazon that was selling like 20 of each size blade for 6 different sizes for a grand total of like $8. I was like, okay, I pay $6 to buy 5 blades at the hobby shop, or I can pay $7 and get 116 blades.
Yeah, guess what I did?
That was let me tell you how hard. Yeah, let me tell you how hard that decision was.
I can eat 2 meals less of ramen now this month.
Why? What did you cancel?
No, I'm saying that's what you were saying.
Oh. Well, I don't buy blades very often, but I did actually need blades. I was down to like 4 or 5 blades, so I was like, yeah, let me... these look really familiar.
What? The turtles?
Yeah. Like these... I'm going to have to look these up. I'm wondering something. I think these might be stolen.
It might be, because... Well, I mean... Well, we'll talk about off cast, because we don't want to throw accusations.
Well, okay, I don't know if they're stolen, but I'm pretty sure I've seen these miniatures before. Now, not saying that he didn't give them the rights and everything, but damn if they don't look familiar.
No, I have to see them.
And I know my turtles.
Your butt knows it's turtles.
My butts do know the turtles. Thank you very much. Turtle, 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 turtle. Okay. I am looking at who I thought they were. Okay, no, they're not the same. But I have seen those turtles before. I have seen those turtles before. They were from another... Maybe it was this company. Maybe someone showed me these miniatures way, way, way back when.
Maybe. I mean, the website says copyright 2013.
Gotta hope I can still order them. That's shitty to be like, I want these. And you get done. €6 shipping. Ow. It's back to the I really, really, really hate paying shipping. Everyone's like, get over it, gosh.
Mm.
Prime has spoiled me. Not even gonna lie, Prime has spoiled me.
Oh my god, Kat. We're not dying in here.
Yeah. Well, she's also telling us it's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's the cat alarm going. Time to finish. Come on, time to finish. Time to finish.
It's like, you should be going to bed.
That's what she said.
Let's see.
Time to finish. Give it
That would
on.
be that. Okay. I've been looking for good Ninja Turtle resin miniatures too. Damn it.
I just happened to palm those in one of the Facebook groups, so there you go.
Okay, so I thought they might have been Francagni, Francagni, Didier. He's a sculptor. And I hope to God he doesn't listen to this podcast. What?
Oh, I couldn't paint because I was laughing.
Well, if you know how to fucking pronounce it, then pronounce it, ass.
But watching you struggle is so much more
But
fun.
anyways, I literally have no idea how to pronounce his name. It's like Fancagni. Fancagni? Fancagni.
Yeji, this is true.
I can't.
Fancagni? Okay, it doesn't help that he's from Vanuatu and he moved to France. So I'm not...
Stop! Stop it.
Why? What is this? Laugh at Larry as he struggles?
I forgot to warn you. She was drinking some of my beer today.
She's light in the damn head. Okay, so where he's from is like literally out in the middle of freaking nowhere. Vanuatu is officially the Republic of Vanuatu and is a Pacific island nation in the South Pacific Ocean, an archipelago which is of volcanic origin and is 1,750 miles east of northern Australia and 540 kilometers northeast of New Caledonia, east of New Guinea, southeast of the Solomon Islands, and west of Fiji. Translation, it's out in the middle of nowhere. So that's where he's originally from, and he moved to France. So I have absolutely no fucking clue or idea how to pronounce his first name, as we have definitely realized. But his last name's Didier, which I'm going to guess that means it's in French origin. But he's a sculptor. He's a really good sculptor. He has some Ninja Turtle fucking sculpts that he's done that are really beautiful. That's why I had to go look and make sure they weren't his Ninja Turtles.
Fuck, you guys made me mess up. You guys suck.
So he has some Ninja Turtle erotica sculpts going on? I mean, I know Rule 34 is a thing.
Yeah, he has turtle porn, and Leonardo has a fucking huge goddamn turtle dick, and he's fucking wanging April with it. Yeah, it's exactly what he has. He has fucking Ninja Turtle hentai. And Donatello has a double-sided dildo that he flips around and is like, hey, looky, pokey, 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 pokey. And Raphael is dual-wielding big fucking vibrators. And Michelangelo has dildos with chains between them.
You know, I bet you there's a comic that's like that.
I'm sure there is. There is probably some Ninja Turtle porn that has that exact thing in it.
Blair's like, you
Maybe
bastard.
that's where I got it. Maybe I watched it one time and didn't realize that I'm stealing their material.
Maybe.
You know, I had to ask myself, why is it that I'm sitting here doing this when I could be out watching Guardians of the Galaxy right now?
Because, you know, the theaters are going to be packed as shit right now.
Which is true.
With drunk ass adults.
Actually, I have a house full of kids right now. Yeah, and it's not like I can come here and talk to you guys about Guardians of the Galaxy. Nope. Because some person still hasn't fucking seen the first one. So I can't even talk about the shit that I'm excited about in the second part. Because Giggle shit over there hasn't taken the 5 fucking minutes,
It doesn't take 5 minutes to watch the movie, okay?
Well, it could, if you watch the abridged version.
With what? Rocket killing Groot?
Movie.
Because apparently Groot's gone and there's baby Groot.
God.
You almost could take the first movie.
Well, you know, if you'd actually take the fucking 2 hours to sit down and watch it, you'd actually know.
I have better shit to do. I can make money.
Better. Like, you can't sit down and watch a movie while you do commissions?
I can't. I gotta be on the phone. Gotta dial.
Seriously?
Gotta dial. Dial for the dollars.
Dial for the dollars? What?
That's what they used to call it at AmFam. Yeah, you gotta dial for dollars.
In that specific way of talking?
No. None of the specific way of talking. Don't look at me like that. This is taking forever.
Yeah, it normally does. Well, blending kind of sucks.
Well, folks, on that note, if you have a chance, go out and watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. At least try to make it where you watch Volume 1 first, unlike Yeji.
I just wet myself.
Oh, man. Let us know over in our Facebook group that you can find over at facebook.com/The Models Workshop. Do you paint to play, or are you one of those people that actually sit down and do a little bit extra on those miniatures? Or do you try to knock it, or do you do both? Do you have an army that you've done the basics on, and then you paint to detail on other models? Let us know what your feelings are, you know, what you think about the topic. You can also find us on our discussion group. You just have to search up Models Workshop Miniatures Discussion, and you will find us chatting away over there and seeing some really cool stuff. You can also find us on the Twitter, and that's over at twitter.com/NWH podcast or twitter.com/SnickersKnack Studio. Or, no, it's SnickerKnack S, isn't it?
Yes. They wouldn't let us put the full studio in there,
right.
so.
It's not Snick.
It's Snickernecks.
It's not Snickers, and it's not
Snickernecks.
Snickers Snacks either, because that would make too much nets. The person who is super hardcore about grammar ungrammared their own studio name. But we're not going to bring that up. You can find Clint and Yeji over there. But thank you for tuning in. If you like what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/Models Workshop, and everything from $1 a month helps out a bunch. But thank you, folks, for tuning in. You guys listening is the main reason that we do this. And when we started, we honestly were wondering if, you know, our goal was to have 1 or 2 other people out there who enjoyed listening to what we do. And we actually have a pretty massive audience now. And that's you guys listening to this. And thank you. Seriously, thank you. It means a lot that you actually give 2 shits about what we had to say about stuff. And the hate messages of, that rant just wasn't good enough. You need to go and do that rant again. And yes, we have received messages like that. But thank you, folks, for tuning in. We love you guys, and bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for another great episode of Models Workshop After Hours, your one-stop podcast for laughs and great painting advice. We come out at least every other week, barring emergencies and holidays, of course, covering a wide variety of hobby topics and basically talking about life in general. When you're not listening to us through your favorite podcatcher, you can find the entire crew hanging out at facebook.com/The Models Workshop. That's all one word smushed together, sharing all the cool things that we find floating around the internet and giving out painting advice. You can also find Larry on Twitter and Instagram at MWAH Podcast, and Yeji and Clint at the same at Snickernack, which is NICKERNACK. If you like what we do, please make sure to drop a quick review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever service you listen to us on. This helps us out greatly and gets the word of the After Hours out to everyone. Models Workshop is done out of pocket. We have no advertisers because we like to be able to be completely truthful with you. If you want to make a donation to help us out, you can at paypal.me/Models Workshop, or you can do a monthly service at patreon.com/Models Workshop. Once again, thank you for listening. Until next time, grab those brushes, paints, and get to painting.